Hello everyone, it's Friday, time for Friday Sews. In today's video, I'll share with you what I completed sewing last week and give you a little peek into what I'm going to sew next week. I'm Sharon with Sharon Sews and welcome to my channel, a channel all about sewing. Before I talk about what I sewed last week, let me share with you what I am wearing. I did indeed sew both the top and the pants. The top is Vogue 7771. This is a Sandra Betzina design from 2003. It is one of my favorite tops that I did not think I was going to be able to wear again when we left the northern states for the southern states. But it's rather chilly out today. After that historic snowstorm we had in Texas, we had days that got up to 70 and 80 degrees. But it's now kind of gloomy and rainy and chilly again, so I pulled this out. And one thing that I really like about this design, can you see? Look at that. There's a pocket in here and it goes all the way through. It's a nice way to warm your hands, tuck your phone in when you're running around. Just very comfortable. It's a heavy sweater knit, probably purchased from S.R. Harris. So I don't get a lot of wear out of it. And every time I put it on, I tell myself, I should sew another one. So I pulled the pattern out as a reminder to myself. I think it would be really cute and comfortable in a French terry. So this is Vogue 7771, out of print, obviously from 2003, Sandra Betzina design. The pants are also a Sandra Betzina design. This is Vogue 1411. And I've sewn this a couple times also. The pants that I'm wearing right now, this faux lace fabric, I wish I would have found more of it. It is just really unique fabric. It looks like lace and it's very, very stretchy, but it's not a knit. So I don't know what it is. And then I used the faux leather to emphasize the seaming on the front of this. I'll pop a picture up there of the line drawing so you can see what I'm talking about. Some people call these her puzzle pants. If you have this pattern, have you sewn it? Do you love it? If you don't have the pattern, it's worth trying to find on eBay or Etsy. 1411, this was from I think 2013. I've sewn it a couple times. It's just like a really fancy pair of leggings. I will pop in a picture so you can see what the whole outfit looks like. Regarding my sewing projects last week, I have not made any progress yet on the jacket, Vogue 1714. This is one that I'm just going to really take my time sewing, and you probably won't see this for a few weeks. I actually didn't make much progress on the jacket because I got distracted by my whips. Work in progress, work in process, whatever you call it. You know, those projects that you cut out and you start sewing and you set them aside for whatever reason. I try hard not to do that. I try to start and finish without tucking it away because I've discovered for myself, when I tuck it away, it sits. It just languishes in that closet, sometimes for years. I thought to myself, why don't you just pull a couple of those out and just finish them up and be done with that? So I put the jacket aside and I started working on a couple of those whips. One of them was McCall's 7803. This was a black rayon challis, tiny floral print. It had been sitting on my dress dummy in one of my past Friday Sews videos. Pulled it out to finish it. Managed to slice a big hole right through it when I was using my serger, so I just tossed that top. That was not worth trying to salvage. That had just been a top that I was sewing to check the fit to the pattern anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. That was just, you know, cheap fabric that I had used to check the fit. I do like it. I will sew another one, I'm not going to waste any more time on that one. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this photo. I had finally finished this vintage Vogue 2517, a DFB design from 1980. I had cut it out 4 years ago, if I'm remembering correctly. It's a long story why it ended up in that closet for so long. I finally pulled it out this week and finished it. It's definitely not my favorite because, as I said in my Instagram post, I feel like I gave myself a sash with this white fabric. But it's actually a win because I now have the fitting issues out. Now when I find 3 fabrics that coordinate well together, I can sew this dress and it will definitely take me less than 4 years to finish it. This one will be modeled in my February makes video, and I'll chat just a little bit more on the challenges that I had that took me 4 years to complete it. Another project that I pulled out of my whip pile is a shirt. Simplicity, what is this? Simplicity 6368. This is from 74, 75. And this is for my father. It is partially cut out, interfaced. He loves trains. His father was a train conductor. My father is just fascinated by trains. And it's a quilting cotton. I had used the facing and the interfacing to do the video to demonstrate how to do a clean finish on your facing and your interfacing all in one step. I'll link that video above if you haven't seen that yet. I did that little tutorial and then I tucked this away. Now this one has a little story. I'll make it a short story. By the time I was 14, I was sewing a lot of my mother's clothes, my father's clothes, my sister's clothes, etc. I just love to sew. And this shirt pattern I purchased one year for Father's Day and sewed him a shirt. It's got that little 70s pocket with the little pocket protector. My father was in the computer industry back in the 60s and the 70s. And it became a tradition. Every year I would sew him one for Father's Day or for his birthday. And I did that for years and years and years and years. My children got older and my career got busier. I stopped doing it, but I kept the pattern. And now probably every other year I sew one for him. I was just chatting with him, a month ago, and asked him if he needed another shirt. He said, no, I'm good. I like the ones that I have. He wears them all the time, according to my mother. But I just really enjoy sewing it for him. So I'm going to finish this one this week, mail that off to him, and I'll probably end up looking for more fabric and sewing another one for him. This is just one of the easiest shirt patterns ever. Those are the 3 items that I pulled out of the whip pile that I took care of last week. I also sewed 2 other projects that were super, super fast, super easy. Sometimes you just need one of those, don't you? That you can just cut. I can't really snap. Sometimes you just need one of those that you could just cut it out and sew it and be done with it in just hours. I like some of those instant gratification sewing projects. This is what they are. Last week, I had talked about wanting to finish the Style Sew Me Madison Cardigan, and I did. I whipped it up in so little time. It's already been on Instagram. I'll post a couple pics up here for you so you can see what it looks like on, and you will hear more about it in my February makes video. So easy to sew, and I really thought it was just going to be a test garment, so that's why I used black thread inside. I just didn't have enough green to use in my serger, but I like it so much that I think it's going to get a lot of wear, and it's just going to have black thread showing on the inside. One thing to note on this pattern, these sleeves run really small. I did a 1-inch bicep adjustment on the pattern before I cut it out, and I still had to take, it's a 2-piece sleeve. I still had to take the seam apart and make it, let's see, it was a 1/2-inch seam allowance, and instead I sewed it in a 1/4-inch seam allowance to give myself just a little bit more room. I can't wear a long sleeved tee under it, it's too tight. So just keep that in mind if you do sew this one. One other very quick thing that I sewed this week is the Dolman Sweater. Sewed one of these before. This is part of this Sew News plush capsule collection. Whipped up another one right here. I had this really unique knit fabric. It's kind of, it's got a little bit of a texture to it. I think I bought it at Walmart in those little bundles, pre-cut bundles, probably cost me $6. I had purchased it for a different pattern. It has too much stretch. It's a 4-way stretch, so it wasn't going to work for the pattern I had originally thought I would sew it for, and it works great in this Dolman sleeve sweater pattern. This is the time of year where I feel like it's just very transitional here. I can go from wearing shorts and a short sleeve t-shirt to needing to wear something warmer. This would be a great transitional piece. Now my sewing plans for next week, I don't have a whole lot planned. Obviously, I'm going to continue to work on that Vogue jacket, and that'll probably just be bits and pieces. This week, I hope to get the fitting done, and then I can really start whipping through it. One thing that I do want to sew before the end of February is Vogue 2058. This is a Scott Berry design. I'm not sure of the year. I'll have to look that up and put that in the description box for you. But this is the last pattern that I wanted to sew for the Black History Month Pattern Designer Challenge that was being hosted on Instagram. I've just always been fascinated by it. I'm sure it's the styling that has me thinking it's a really cute little pattern, thinking this fabric. I love the fabric. I think it's very summery and it's kind of lightweight, which to me means that I could wear this, even though it's long sleeved. I could wear it off the shoulder and still wear it in the summer. And I'm thinking of making the shorter version, not the maxi. I think the maxi would be a little too much. That's it for Friday Sews this week. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And be sure to check the hashtag Friday Sews. Search it on YouTube and you can see all the other sewing bloggers that are joining in on the fun. It'll just bring up a lot of videos that you can watch throughout the weekend and get some sewing inspiration. Until next time, I hope you have a blessed day and happy sewing. Maxi, I think the maxi would